Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. I don't know if the word has been put out there, but we back up. Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Joined by Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC.
Yo.
Oh, we got the whole gang together as Ben Johnson has put his staff on the table.
Whoa. All right.
We got multiple hires over the weekend, and dare I say, this staff is shaping up to be one of the best that we've seen here in Chicago. Once again, on paper. It's on paper right now.
Right. Nothing happened yet. Yep.
We also got to break down everything about these coaches and a little championship weekend. Everybody's mad at the Chiefs, and I'm here to say, what are we beefing for? Anybody, your team in? Did your team make it? Your team didn't make it? Watch the goddamn Super Bowl. All that and more on today's episode of The Morning Breeze. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. The date is 1/27/2025. It is 7:02 in the morning. And ladies and gentlemen, there may be a Ditka in the building.
Go.
Let's go. Big vibes. Hey, Morning Breeze, yeah. We live. Mr. Meaty, yeah. He paints. We still in staff from the Saints. Oh, don't get me going on this one. Don't get me going on this one. Now, you know I got it. You know I got the bars, dog. You know I got the bars, dog. Stop playing with me out there, man. Don't get me going on this morning, man.
People from the Saints, okay.
Stealing people from the Saints, dog. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, man. Appreciate y'all for rocking with us on the show. A lot to get into on today's episode, man. Let's start off with the coaching staff. Let's start off with the big fish, the big names, shall we? The big kahuna. We got Ben Johnson in the building, and that is now the head of this thing. Yes. And my concern was, JC, going into this, remember, I said, you're interviewing all of these coaches. Are you interviewing your coordinators? Are you interviewing guys that the front office wants you to go after, but not that Ben Johnson wants you to go after? After watching this coaching staff be put together, and I mean, it was pretty immediate that we heard Dennis Allen's name. It was like Ben Johnson walked in the door and they were like, Dennis Allen's coming. But I think this staff being put together feels like a very Ben Johnson staff, not a Bears front office staff. This doesn't feel like a Flus staff being put together where you look around the room and you just go, hey, he didn't know any of these people a week ago. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like that to me, I think is going to be that's got me excited starting off this staff. And then you get into the fact that you bring in Dennis Allen. I think this is a great hire for the Bears. We've been waiting for this to come down for a while now. Like I said, pretty much since Ben walked in the building. I mean, I'm surprised Dennis Allen didn't walk in behind the family and have a speech ready to go when he was in there with everybody else in the foyer there at Hallis Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Get back to work, Dennis. Dennis, not yet. Get back in there, Dennis. Get back there. But what do you think of the hire of Dennis Allen? What do you like about it? What do you think this brings to the team?
First of all, I mean, Dennis Allen was the name that we kind of already knew off the back that Ben wanted. So, I mean, that was kind of obvious from the start. We're getting all of the guys that we said we would try and go after, which is what I'm really honestly I'm most tingly about. I mean, you're talking about getting Ben Johnson, the big fish. Now, I talked about that being step one. Step two, I talked about, well, what kind of staff is he going to create? What kind of like superstar staff is he going to actually put together? And it's come together honestly perfectly in my eyes. These are all the guys that I've wanted, outside of a few names that are a little bit of a surprise. But if we're pinpointing Dennis Allen has plenty of experience. That's one of the things that I keep going back to, is that he's had plenty of experience either with head coaching or on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, he was a part of Sean Payton's reign in the New Orleans Saints when they won the Super Bowl in 2009. He's also been a coach with 2 stints as head coach in the NFL. Partly 3 seasons with the Saints since 2024. That's when he was let go. But I'm really excited about his defensive side of things as well, because I looked up a stat where I didn't realize this, that he has been a part of picking, or I should say he's been a part of drafting some really notable names. And so if you're talking about a guy who has an eye for talent, just hear some of these names that I'm going to rattle off real quick. We got Von Miller.
Ooh,
that guy. We got Khalil Mack. We know who that is. We got Shelby Harris. He's a decent guy. Sheldon Rankins, nice, the guy that has been playing for the Saints. Run stuff.
Drop off there. I'm not gonna lie. You started off hot and it immediately dropped off.
I'm gonna get back hot again. Trey Hendrickson excites you.
All right, there we go. I got nervous.
Leader for this year. Marcus Davenport had a little bit of success. I think he's on the Lions now. He got hurt, but I mean, that's a guy with some promise. And then Brian Bresee, who's still a young guy, up and coming, could be a nice guy for the defensive tackle room. So all of those names all together, I mean, that's an eye for talent. Those are some first rounders, some guys who have obviously have had legendary careers in the league, especially some of those first names. But I mean, if you're talking about a guy who in this offseason, it's very pivotal for us to address the defensive side of things, especially on the line, the edge, the tackles. That's a guy I want in the room when Ryan Poles starts to make the decision, because he's obviously going to lean on some of these guys for their expertise and their opinion. And Dennis Allen is a guy who's seen it, and he's also drafted well. So I love the hire.
Yeah, no, to me, this is you got a guy with some skins on the wall. You've also got a guy who has already done it at a head coaching level, while not massively successful. I think his best season is a 9-8 season in his time as a head coach.
Yeah, not too good of a head coach record.
Not a great head coaching record at all. Also took over the Saints, who were in cap hell the second he walked in the door, and are still in cap hell. And by the way, that job is still available, because everybody's looking at it just going, nah,
I don't want to touch that.
No, I'm good. But it's a head coaching job. That's okay. I promise you, I'm okay. Yeah, no, but he took over a tough Saints job. Didn't have to trade for Derek Carr, but thank God he's not the head coach anymore. He took over in Oakland, and things didn't go his way. A little bit more of a clean slate there. That kind of is on him. But at all of those turns, right, you bring up the defensive players he brought in. I bring up the defensive scheme that he utilized for him. You look at what he did with the Raiders defense with Khalil Mack over there. That was just good defense. They just couldn't score to save their lives. You look at what they were able to do down in New Orleans. That defense was always in the weirdest spot ever. You look at it and you go, this is a top 10 defense. Why do they suck so bad? There were so many times where you would look at the defensive side of the ball and feel really good about it. I think the thing for me that I really like about Dennis Allen as well is just, number one, you bring in a young guy. I love that Ben Johnson isn't doing the whole I'm scared this guy's going to take my job with bringing in former head coaches. No, bring in people who have done this before. Bring in people who have done the job before. But for me, when I look at Dennis Allen's defense, aggressive defense, able to bring multiple fronts, player development. I mean, you got players on this team that we think still need a next step that they can take. Javon Dexter, I love that he took a step this season. For me, now I'm saying, okay, how do we get to that next level? How do we get to that next point? This is great. Now I need you to be on the next. I need you to kind of take that step of the second round pick we expected you to be. You took a great step this season, but when Andrew Billings wasn't out there next to you, you weren't still that guy. I think that's the kind of thing I need to see unlocked there. I love the fact that he has a scheme that can come with some of those hybrid schemes. I love the fact that he's able to combine multiple fronts. He does a great job disguising coverages. I love Dennis Allen's defense. I just hated Dennis Allen as a head coach. He is literally defensive Josh McDaniels.
I like that. That's tingly. No, but I like what you said about the development of certain players like Javon Dexter. Yes, had a hot start to his season. We talked about, him kind of coming into his own. And then, of course, like you mentioned, when certain players weren't there, like Big Man Billings, he kind of tailed off a little bit in his numbers and kind of evened out in the latter part of the season. But yeah, I would love for him to take that next step where you see more consistency and him becoming more of a star in his role. That would be nice. And so when you bring a guy like him in here, a Dennis Allen, you bring that level of experience and also just the tutelage under Sean Payton. That's also been the running thing I'm seeing under a lot of these coaches that we're going to get into, is that they're mostly coming from the Sean Payton tree. To sniff at, because Sean Payton is a winner. Sean Payton's a legendary coach, Super Bowl. Like, we're getting guys in the building that know what winning looks like. It's not that they've had a little taste of it or they had a good regular season. No, some of these guys have won Super Bowls actually as players and as coaches on certain teams. And so that's what I love, is that we're forming a staff under Ben Johnson, is forming a staff that is committed to winning, that has actually been experienced in winning, used to winning. That's how you change the culture essentially in this organization too, is that you bring people in that are used to that type of mentality, that used to that type of standard, so that the standard can change with Chicago. Yeah.
And are used to holding people to that standard.
Yeah.
That's the thing about Sean Payton that I love. Listen, he is the standard is the standard kind of coach, right? He's not going to sit there and play around with you. He's not going to sit there and play games with you. And I think that you're bringing in coaches who have that ability as well into the building, especially with Dennis Allen. Now, on the other side of this ball, very different.
Who is this guy?
Very different.
Let's pay. Who's that guy? Yeah.
The defensive side of the ball, I like. We talked about some of the defensive assistant coaches as well. They bring in. I do want to clear something up too. When we were talking about Al Harris, we were talking about him because all it was put out there was he was the passing game coordinator. The defense wasn't added until after. So we were sitting there. We were like, I guess you got to know defense to know offense. He's on the defensive side of the ball. Just want to clear that up. We haven't been live since then. Want to clear that up. He's going to be on the defensive side of the ball. He's going to be coaching the DBs. So a lot of good DBs under his name, but everybody was losing their mind over, well, how do you have the defensive pass game coordinator and you don't have the the defensive coordinator yet? What's going on? He showed up a day later. Like, guys, if he knew he was taking a job, he probably sent some names in to go hire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how these things I don't know if you know this. We have Zoom. We have email. We have text messages.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff can go back and forth digitally. We're coming to you not from a studio. I'm in a basement. JC's in a public defender's
right now. Oh.
JC right now is coming to you post snitching on Young Thug.
And I need you to bail me out.
We'll get to you when we get to you. You shouldn't have done it. Once you learn your lesson, then we'll get you out of there. No, but I thought this one was interesting for the Chicago Bears offensive side of the ball. The offensive coordinator is an interesting. I did just want to clear that up, but the offensive coordinator is an interesting name because I made a video introing the fact that the Chicago Bears interviewed Declan Doyle. And when I tell you that video was literally just a video to let people know that the Bears interviewed somebody that they were never going to hire, I was wrong. Now, I didn't say it in the video. I didn't say that I'm making this to let you know that they're never gonna hire this guy.
Was it one of those videos where you just kind of kept it short? Like, yeah,
it was. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have much to say about him.
Just a guy.
I didn't have much to, and here's the thing: there's not much to say about him because he's 28. He's 2 years younger than me.
Bro, he is young.
He just got out of college.
This man, he was playing Madden. That's how he got the job.
Bro, you know what I mean? Like he might be your heir. But somebody said, I saw this and I was like, that would kind of make sense. And it was fairly hilarious. Says somebody, Ben Johnson just hired Ben Johnson.
I mean, hey,
this young up and coming offensive mind needs to work with somebody to kind of figure out what he wants to do. Gets an early opportunity in life, not calling a single play.
Yeah, no.
But Declan Doyle as the offensive coordinator, do you feel like the Bears should have gone with more experience? I saw David Shaw, by the way. Everybody losing their mind about David Shaw
as an option. Yeah.
Guys. Yeah, look at me.
Bring it in.
David Shaw doesn't run an offense anything like the Bears want. David Shaw literally was running the football every single play. That's not what you wanted in the building.
You know Pat don't want to run the ball. The dog.
I don't know. Look, here's the thing. I love running the ball. I just don't want to pay him after they do it. But I love to run the ball.
Wear them out and pay them nothing.
I got you on this nice 4-year deal. You know what Ian Wheeler's got? I don't even know his name. Ian Wheeler? $2.6 million, baby. There you go. You got paid your money. I'll see you in 4.
Crazy
but
work.
I at no point was it when the David Shaw name came up. I was like, why would anyone want this? He literally runs the exact offense we all would hate to see here in Chicago.
Yeah, no, that didn't.
Like, it's a good name. It would have been a fun name, but I'm okay. Plus, he's not calling plays. I understand him not coming here. Now, Declan Doyle coming here is weird. And this is literally, there's not much I can break down on it. There is he's a young play caller. He's spent time with Sean Payton. Everywhere Sean Payton has gone, he has wanted to bring Doyle with him, which should tell you a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like that those are things that do excite me. It feels a lot better seeing as how he's not calling the plays, that we have our play caller already in the building. I don't know if this is 100% true, but if it is, it is the only thing that I do believe is maybe a feather in his cap. And this came from Clutch Points. So if it's not true, don't blame me, blame them.
No, we got a meaty fact.
Declan Doyle is also the nephew of NFL Hall of Famer and Super Bowl winning head coach Mike Ditka.
Oh, there it is.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh,
there's your connection, folks.
You had to break the curse.
Yes,
you had to break the curse. We need a Ditka in the building. There's no Ditkas in coaching. Well, you know what? We got a Doyle.
Yeah, right. God, dog. There you go. That's exactly why we got him in the building.
Now. I don't know if that's true or not. I have no idea. Like, I looked up. I tried to find like a family tree on this. I tried to look up like where they would be related. No clue. I mean, like, there's no information out about Declan Doyle except spend some time with Sean Payton here. Spend some time with Sean Payton there. He could be Sean Payton's nephew for all I know. But
I think that too. No, I actually
is. There you go. I'm tingly on that one.
I am tingly. I mean, whether he's a nephew of Ditka or he's under Sean Payton, but I mean, no. The real fact is the connection to Sean Payton again, which I mentioned. Like, all these guys have some sort of connection or direction going into the Sean Payton tree, and so that's why I'm not too afraid. First of all, because Ben Johnson is going to be the play caller. It's not like he's coming in saying, I'm going to be calling the plays on Sundays. No, we know that Ben Johnson is going to be that guy. And so his responsibility is going to be helping install the game plans. He's going to be the one that's going to be, kind of analyzing like the scouting reports for the players that they're going against ahead of each game. Like, that's his responsibility leading up to game day. And then, of course, like you mentioned, he's had stints with Sean Payton, tight ends coach for the last 2 years under the Denver Broncos. And then when he also was with the Saints for 4 seasons, he was an offensive assistant. I believe that even around in certain circles, they said that he is to have one of the youngest and brightest minds in the game. And so maybe Ben Johnson sees, like you said, himself in him. We know that Ben Johnson is known as one of the more offensive young bright minds in the game. And so he's bringing along maybe his protege and saying, I'm going to bring my doppelganger in the building. So I'm fine with that. I don't have an issue with that because he's not really heading up the offense like the head coach is. And so you want a guy who you can kind of be a tutor to, a mentor to, that's fine with me because we have all of these other areas addressed with a lot of experience and a lot of winning in their background. So I don't have an issue with you taking a chance there.
Yeah, and listen, I think here's the thing for me, right? You think about a Mike Holmgren staff. I know you got to go back a little bit there. Take a shot. I know it's early.
Are you named Joe?
But think about it. The reason I say that is, right, who was calling the plays? Mike Holmgren.
Yeah.
He's calling the plays. But who was drawing up certain plays that got in that game? John Gruden, Andy Reid. These are guys who are on the staff. The guys who are young, trying to figure it out. They're different position coaches, but they're trying to be head coaches, coordinators in this league. They're the ones who are drawing up plays and saying, yo, coach, this is something that I thought here, blah, blah, blah. And Holmgren looks at it, yo, good play, put that in. Gruden's going around telling the story about his first play that worked in the NFL, right? And the opportunity that, he finally got a leg up on Andy because Andy was always getting a play in, which is probably because Holmgren looked at him as a son. They look the same. I don't know. They look exactly the same. How has Andy Reid become old Mike Holmgren? But I think it's exactly what Relentless Mikey is saying here. He is building his tree.
Yeah, I like that.
This is a start of his tree. This young man could have some play calls that we're not going to know. We're going to attribute to Ben Johnson. We're going to look at Ben and say, oh my God, Ben, how did you come up with that? And it might be a Declan Doyle play call, right? That's how you kind of get your name into these coaching cycles, into these coaching hire cycles. If the Bears offense is good over the next few years, guess what? Declan Doyle will not be here, but we get to hold on to our play caller in Ben Johnson. And hopefully, you keep seeing the good times roll. Those are the things that for me, that's how you build a coaching tree. That's why I'm not just poo-pooing this hire. I'm not down on this hire. I'd rather have this hire than David Shaw.
Honestly,
I would. I'm sorry. Like that made no sense for a hire for me. I remember they were talking about him for the head coaching interview, and I was like, no, please, God, no. Me and Kid actually got into a very deep debate over David Shaw. And he was like, I hadn't talked sports in 3 days. He had to get the wrath of the full Pat the Designer brain on that one. He's like, why don't you want David Shaw? I was like, let me break it down to you. I ain't worried about
shout out to PK
at Stanford. Shout out Darren Wells. What other O-line coach would y'all like to consider? O-line coach is interesting. I mean, there's not many of them in the league.
We talked about the one we liked, and we know that Detroit is going to keep him, Hank Fraley.
Hank Fraley is going to stay.
That's a good one.
I mean, I would say the one that does intrigue me, which he was with Arizona for a little while. What's his name? He's got this sounds bad. He's got like a Klansman name. What's his name?
Whoa.
I think his name's Clayton Adams.
Clayton Adams.
I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know every single O-line coach in the NFL. Lil Clancy, right?
You're just thinking of the Dave Chappelle skit. That's all you're thinking of.
No. It's like Clayton. It's like Clayton with a K. It's like Clayton with a K. Yeah, Lil Clancy.
You compared it to the Klansman. That's the Dave Chappelle skit when he was Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah. Oh, Clayton. Right. You know what? Maybe. I might be on that. I'll tell you what, though, the fact that I'm not going to sit here and act like I know every single O-line coach that is available. There are certain ones that stand out.
Yeah.
The thing is, you're promoting somebody who probably isn't an O-line coach right now to being an O-line coach, because if you're an O-line coach that's available, you're probably not that good. Chris Morgan's available.
Yeah, there's a reason why.
You know what I mean?
available.
You're promoting somebody who is a position coach underneath to be a O-line coach. So I would expect that to be somebody that we haven't heard of, that we don't know, probably a former offensive lineman that is right now working with either specifically a position group out there, or is trying to work his way up through the coaching range, or somebody who's in college already. I'm not going to sit here like I said, and act like I have this Rolodex of O-line coaches. Maybe I'll break that down for the night.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll start looking through.
He said, just get me somebody who's better than Morgan. That's not really like a high bar to jump over, but I agree with that. Let's start there.
Well, listen, if we start there and then go 100% better than that, we'll be trash.
Do we bring Olin in? Oh, that's a name.
I've told you I'm interested in Olin. And listen, Olin Kreutz has he's probably not coming, but Olin Kreutz I'm not gonna say that. I don't know if the McCaskies would want Olin Kreutz in the building. That would be a little bit much.
See that's the part of the culture.
That would be a little bit much. That would be a little bit much, because I don't know if you remember this, but remember, I think it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. I mean, it might have been when we hired Flus. Actually, I think it was when we hired Flus. When somebody had talked about something Olin Kreutz had said about the organization, and George McCaskey literally basically said, well, we know Olin will lie. He didn't say it word for word, but like when he said it, I literally tweeted out, and I was like, did George McCaskey just call Olin Kreutz a liar in front of everyone in the world? And Olin Kreutz like quote tweeted it and was like, yep. I was like, oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let me get out of his way.
I remember that. I definitely do.
But yeah, man, I would love Olin in the building. I've seen Olin coach with J Mac. He is not what you expect Olin Kreutz to be. Now, maybe back on the NFL field, he'd be different. He's working with kids. He's working with high schoolers. So maybe he's a little less intense. Maybe if somebody's making millions of dollars, he's like, I'll punch you in your face. You know what I mean? I would love Olin Kreutz. I think he's a great teacher. We know that he works with offensive linemen. Every single Bears lineman they send to Olin.
Yeah.
Legitimately, everyone. Like, he's not good enough to coach you on the team, but every single one they send to Olin.
We're bringing to you. Yeah, come on now. Come on.
Because he's got his offensive line school. He's got a book out on the O-line. Like, he knows his stuff. Like,
you would think that would make sense.
I would be tingly on an Olin Kreutz walking through that door.
Yeah. You just better pay him right this time.
You better pay him right. Didn't they offer that man like a salary? Like, not a salary, but like hourly.
No, they offered him salad. That's what they offered him last time.
Yeah, bro, it was legit. Like, wasn't it like $20 an hour or something like that?
Yeah, it was like lunch money. Yeah, it was bad. It was very bad.
Bro, they were so disrespectful. And listen, we got a little bit ahead of ourselves here, JC. I do want to apologize to you for what's coming next, but we are over 100 in the chat, over 200 in the chat, over 300 in the chat, over 400 in the chat, over 500 in the chat, over 600 in the chat. 600. Jesus. That guy's got to work out.
A lot of pumping. Jeez.
Hey, listen, all I see is it was 15 an hour. It was 10 an hour. Either way, we're paying him hourly.
That man was making minimum wage.
We're paying him hourly.
Minimum wage. He had to make tips off of every lineman that he drafted.
Bro, I don't care what it was. We not talking M's. We talking hours.
Jesus, man.
Super disrespectful. If I'm Olin Kreutz, I'm never walking through that door. But no, man.
Stupid.
JC just assaults the air. Are you new to this show, Steve-O? You know what he does. That's why he's Mr. Meaty. Actually, he's Mr. Meaty because he ate steaks in a day.
Yeah, we know that's the running that's the running theme right there.
Yeah, yeah. That was still impressive. 8 steaks in a day is nuts.
Whatever.
I don't know. You led with that, and then you were like, "Well, it was a misunderstanding."
I misspoke, and it's just going to continue to follow me. That's okay.
It was By the way, did hit up Fogo de Chao this weekend.
Oh, you just wait. First of all, you marinated steaks. Now you went to Fogo without me. I don't appreciate this. This
Hey
slander.
JC, you're a little busy out here, dog. You know what I mean? You got some priorities going on.
Well, yeah, all right.
You know what I mean? You got little priorities going on. Well, I'd love to hang out with you.
Don't you start.
I'd love to hang out with you, but you got some things happening here. You got a little more. Never mind. That was about to be wild. That would have had you right in the back room. Oh, Quentin Helms with the super chat. He said, I've seen some people hating on the staff just because of Declan, but I can remind everyone to look at Flu's first staff compared to this one, bro. Yeah, and that's such a real statement.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I think about the fact that number one, once again, Flu's first staff. He had a couple of dudes that he worked with. I think Alan Williams was somebody that he worked with in Indy. Where's Hightower come from? I mean, you just swung for the fences, brought him in. But I will say this as well: Hightower retained. I don't know if I like that.
Yeah.
I like Coach Hightower. I'm not gonna say that. I like Coach Hightower.
They had a few rankings that were decent in the league as far as special teams. A few that stood out. I don't know. I think that's good for some continuity there. I don't mind that. I mean, come on now.
I like Coach Hightower. Here's my thing. I'm not beating the table for a special teams coach one way or the other. Has the Bears special teams been elite? No. I think that would be my only thing.
You watch your mouth. Toy Taylor's been elite.
Has it? Has it?
In my heart.
I was gonna say, because not on the field. Toy Taylor is literally the most middle of the pack punter that you get. We've drafted 2 punters, both of them have been mid.
He's gonna get it right. He's gonna get going. Sorry.
Shoot, heck, all the practice he got this year, I would have thought that he had it right already.
Right. Caleb was like, "We're not gonna see the field." Toy was
You're
like,
not gonna be punting much.
My beer.
My leg is sore. I can't feel my leg. You're not gonna be punting much. Oh yeah. Oh, there's another one. Take that with you.
Yeah, punt like 5 times a game.
Thought he wasn't going to be punting much here. All right. Had to find a way to work that into the show today.
Moose is back. Okay.
But no, man, listen, at the end of the day, I like the staff that the Bears have put together. I like the assistants that the Bears have put together. When you talk about bringing in Antoine Randall, we talk about bringing in Al Harris. I think those are 2 really good names that the Bears have brought in, and now the focus shifts, right? You're holding on to Hightower. You've got Declan Doyle as your OC. You've got Dennis Allen as your DC. Now it's time to start getting some players. Yeah,
no, I'm with you on that. I love those, like you mentioned, those assistant coaching hires. Antoine Randall, his connection to the team. Obviously, he also grew up in Chicago. Won again, and we're talking about a guy who won. He, I believe, was his wide receiver with the Steelers when he won the Super Bowl. He was a part of that.
That feels right. That feels right.
I believe he was. Yeah. He was. Of course, he wasn't the main guy, but obviously you had Brown and those guys. But then Al Harris, I love that hire, also underrated hire because of the DBs that he's worked with, especially in Dallas. You got Deron Bland, who's been an up and coming name. You obviously have Trayvon Diggs, who was a dog for a couple of seasons. And I just saw a video. I don't know if you saw it, where they showed Tariq Stevenson, I guess, working on his ability to,
I did see that
off and try to be a ball hawk. Because
apparently was sent there to that specific trainer. I don't know if this is facts or not. But the tweet I saw it with had this on there. It was from somebody reputable. I don't remember, but I do remember checking and being like, "Is this a person I should care about?" Apparently, was sent there by Al Harris.
Yeah.
Al Harris been here 2 days. That means he showed up the first day, said, "Go to this camp," and Tyreek was there the next day.
You know why? Because he probably saw what happened in Washington. It was all over national news. He was like, "Yeah, hey, I need you to get on your game right now. Go here." God.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Listen, next big thing. I mean, there's a bunch of big things coming up next. Of course, we got Super Bowl on the 9th. Franchise tag date is the 18th of February, so we'll be able to see some players who end up getting tagged. I don't think the Bears are going to have very many. But March 4th, that's when they got to be done by. March 10th, I believe, is when free agency opens. That's the next big day. That's the next big day. Free agency. Now the Bears turn their attention there. Now it's time to see what kind of players you're going to bring in. I think there's going to be a lot that the Bears have to address. We're going to have all of that covered here over on the Windy City Breeze. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Before we get out of here, I do want to talk about championship weekend because there is a Bears question in here. I saw this from Lions fans. After seeing the Eagles put up 50 plus on the Commanders defense, literally just logically, they said 30th ranked defense, we're running the football a lot. Are you concerned by the fact that Ben Johnson tried to throw so much versus that Washington defense? Because Philly literally just said, turn around, hand the football off, Barkley, there you go. And realistically, the Lions could have had that same game plan. No, he put up 500 yards of offense, but after that first golf turnover, I probably would have been handing that football off.
I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs had 2 touchdowns, had a really good game already. I mean, you saw him commit to the run game still, even though, he still did have a lot of passing as well implemented. I didn't have a problem with this game plan. Again, I go back to Detroit Lions just ran into a team while they were hurt. What did you mention? 18 guys on IR or that were
19 guys on the defensive side on IR.
Yeah. So I mean, you scored 31 points on a team like that. Essentially in the playoffs, that usually wins you games. Wins you games when a lot of games are won because of defense. And so because you didn't have defense, you gave up 45. That's not on Ben Johnson. I keep going to that. And so sure, they could have committed a few more plays and committed to the run game a little bit more, but they were successful overall. 500 yards of total offense is utterly ridiculous in a loss. And so, no, I'm not mad with that outcome. I mean, the Commanders just ran into, again, a juggernaut of a team and obviously a juggernaut of a running back in Saquon. You're putting up 55. You just can't keep up with them.
By the way, y'all can stop tweeting me. Would you pay Saquon that? No.
Well,
Again,
he ain't gonna pay him.
Untouched.
What would be your contract for Saquon? What would you give him? What would be the max?
Swifts. I would give him Swifts.
You give him 8?
I would give him Swifts.
So you cut what he made in half, even though he dang near is going to. Well, he's not going to get the MVP, but he's getting MVP conversation
again. But here's the thing. Again, I've also said if I have Philly's team, I'll pay him whatever the heck I got to.
True.
If I'm Philly, I'm paying you what I got to pay you. I got nothing left to get. I got freaking Shamar Moore playing quarterback. You know what I mean? I got 10 offensive linemen standing in front of me. The backup offensive linemen are better than what we had in starters.
I didn't see Shamar Moore coming.
I got defensive players at every turn.
I didn't even see that coming because literally I saw a video of Shamar Moore. I don't forget what show it is where the people be clapping and they be going down like this hallway, like
Jennifer Hudson show?
Dancing. Huh?
The Jennifer Hudson show?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. And I saw Shamar Moore doing the dance. So recently. So you said Shamar Moore, that just threw me off.
Just say you never seen that tweet before when they say when I need Jalen Hurts to hit my parlay and it's like Shamar Moore like linked up on a wall, just light skin as I'll get out. But no, listen, bro. Like if I got Philly's team, I'm telling y'all, if the Bears ever get a team like Philly, you will hear me say go pay whoever the best running back is.
I mean, hey, we can make it look like that this offseason.
Yeah, that's a long way away. We'll see. We'll see.
Hey, don't. And then again, I'll tell you this much: if free agency opens up and we get 3 of these offensive line, we get a Kevin Zeitler, we get a Ryan Kelly, and we get Trey Smith. Don't be surprised if they commit their first round pick to Ashton Jeanty.
Nope.
Ashton Jeanty, baby.
Nope. I'll still be mad. Because you know what? You need somebody on the defensive end. You just spent all this money on offense. You need somebody on the defensive end.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Who's rushing opposite Montez Sweat? That's all I'm saying.
But bring Khalil Mack back, baby.
My thing is what we saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Is amazing from Saquon. It accentuates who Saquon is.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what we would have seen of Saquon in a Bears jersey. Remember that play where like Jalen Hurts said Hutt turned around and handed it to Saquon and he immediately was blown up in the backfield? That would have been all season this year.
Yeah,
so
all
no,
season.
I'm not. I'm still not paying Saquon. Y'all can stop sending it to me. I'm good. He's amazing. I'm glad he's where he's at. I'm happy he's in the Super Bowl. But he's amazing there because he's got the biggest dogs you've ever seen in your life. I'm sorry, hogs you've ever seen in your life in front of him. Just clearing space. I mean, opening the Red Sea.
Yeah. Even Jalen got 3. Jalen got 3 on a horrible average, but I mean that's the whole point of the tush push,
bro. Yeah, I mean, like I love it. I love this narrative that's now out there that like Saquon Barkley put him over the top. They went to a Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah,
kiss my grits. But no, man. I thought that game was so interesting. The Commanders were exposed. I do want to say if Caleb Williams had scored a touchdown in the end zone and done a dance down 2 scores in the third quarter,
been vilified.
People would have vilified this man this morning.
Yeah,
he would have been the devil.
Yeah,
we'd have been sitting here defending our quarterback with a stick. Just back, you savages.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I know we're gonna talk about the other game real quick too, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that I think Caleb Williams from this point on, and obviously it depends a lot on this offseason, but I think he will start to have a better career than Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels, the ceiling is essentially where it is now. I'm not saying he's not going to be. I'm not going to say he's going to fall off. I think Caleb is going to ascend, and then they're going to start seeing why he was picked over Jaden. That's just my opinion. I'm just going to call it right now.
Hey, throwing it out there early. I like to take. I mean, that's a heck of a.
I stand on it. That's my meaty take.
3,500, 25-9 in an NFC championship. I mean, if he does that for his whole career, he's a great quarterback.
He is.
Shout out. MP said, if we get Trey Smith, I'll know the Bears are serious. Hey, that's the most Bears fan thing in the world. I don't know. We put a great staff.
Right. No, you just ignore everything else.
Quarterback. All right. You go out and you get that offensive lineman, and I'll know you're real. That's such a Bears fan take. I love it. Chicago did go out to Barkley last season. They offered more money than the Eagles, but he wanted to play for his hometown team. No, he didn't want to play behind this junkyard dog offensive line. I know they went after him. It's stupid. They was dumb. They like paying money at positions that don't matter. You know what they also didn't go after last season? An offensive line. My quarterback got sacked 68 times.
Insane.
How's that back feeling? Before we get up out of here, though, man. By the way, over 700. 700. Not gonna make you do it all at once this time. But before we get up out of here, I do want to talk about this random hate that seems to be out there for the Kansas City Chiefs. If your team is not in it, I gotta ask, because I and this is a genuine question. If your team's not in it, why would you not want to see history? I think people want to see a movie. People live to see movies. They want to see the Rocky story. You know why the Rocky story is fun? Because it don't happen. You know why the Miracle on Ice is a miracle? Because it wasn't supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Muggs want to see the movie storyline play out so bad with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills finally getting over the hump versus Patrick Mahomes that they have made themselves hate the Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Chiefs have gotten so good to a point where all you can do is hate them now. I want to see something different. I want to see history. I want to see history. Paulie G with the super chat said, how do you guys feel about Poles still being on a 1-year deal? I don't believe he is. I told y'all. I think he's on the whole reason when they initially reported all this stuff was that he was on a 5-year deal.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
That means he would have 2 years left.
Yeah.
The fact that they haven't signed him yet kind of makes me feel like he's on a 5-year deal. But, I can't guarantee or not.
But going back to your point, man, I do believe that there's a little bit of hatred towards winning teams and consistently winning, because it's almost like, oh my God, like can somebody else new win this thing? It's the age-old narrative where it's like you kind of get tired. It's like next person up type of thing. We've seen it all over sports. I even got tired of the years when you constantly kept seeing the Golden State Warriors versus whoever LeBron James was playing for, whether it was Miami or Cleveland. Like, we knew who was going to be at the end of the season, right? You knew who was coming out for the championship. Or even the Michael Jordan days. I'm pretty sure when we were in our glory days for the Bulls, a lot of people were sick and tired of seeing Chicago. Like, they were tired of it, but we loved it. And it's like, okay, well, hey, just sit back and enjoy the ride. This is something that could be historic. I agree. Three Super Bowls in a row, never been done before. Enjoy that. Yes, Josh Allen is literally Karl Malone and John Stockton or the New York Knicks. Like, they keep running into Michael Jordan. Just enjoy the ride.
and that's the thing for me. It's like, listen, yesterday's game was a great game. Josh Allen did everything that he could to try and win that game. He gave you the best fight that he could. He set up the movie time play to put you in position to get a field goal to take you to overtime. Did all of this stuff. And guess what? I said this on the Eye of the Storm with P Kid last Tuesday. Show only for the members. If you want to tap into the Eye of the Storm, tune in, join the Breeze super fans by becoming a member of the channel, and you'll get that show as well.
Yep.
This ain't a movie, dog. It's not a movie. This is real. When I picked my teams in the playoffs, everybody wanted movie endings. Lamar Jackson's gonna climb the hump. Well, Lamar Jackson ain't been the one on the wrong side of the hump.
I wanted that one.
The Baltimore Ravens have.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson climbed the hump. The Baltimore Ravens didn't come with him. Mark Andrews didn't come with him.
Yeah.
This ain't a movie, dog. I picked the Bills to beat them because Lamar don't win. The Ravens don't win. I picked the Chiefs to beat the Bills because the Bills don't win. This ain't a movie, dog. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you didn't get your movie time ending, but you get a chance to see history. Get a chance to see. Because I'm going to say this, even if the Bills had made the Super Bowl, I would have picked the Eagles. You know why? Because I've seen the Bills in the Super Bowl 4 years in a row. I didn't see it, but I know they did it.
Yeah.
With the juice. They lost 4 years in a row. That's some teams be in hell. Josh Allen wasn't beating Pat Mahomes. You got a goat over there. And I don't want to sit here and hear nobody sitting here talking about, oh, the refs were in their pockets. Oh my God, they were in the bro. If we talking about that first down play, it's a 50-50 call at best. Both refs saw it differently, and neither ref had him as a first down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't a first down. I'm sorry. That wasn't a first down to me when I saw it on the field. It's not a first down now. But hey, I digress. Hey, I'm excited for this Super Bowl. Yeah, Eagles, Chiefs. That's got me tingly.
Got me tingly. Hey, could like I Nova said, it could be the biggest three-peat in football history. We will see what happens, but it will be an exciting Super Bowl. A lot of offense, good defenses. So I'm going for Chiefs. Obviously, I think at this point, I think the Chiefs will pull it out. But they have a good competitor in Philly, so it will be a good game.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be. This is a rematch here versus Philly, and Philly's gonna lose the second time around as well. This ain't a movie, dog. This ain't a movie, dog. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We gonna get up out of here, man. We'll be back, of course, for the Daily Show at 6 p.m. So stay tapped in with us, man. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it's your boy Pat the Designer, back at it again. Stay safe out there, Chicago. Bet down, one love. See Red Nation, stand up. Peace.
Speaking of staying safe, did you see something about a fire weather warning for Chicago?
For Chicago?
Yes, bro. I saw some warning with about like we finna be like California, bro. What's going on? Got me a little scared this morning.
I did not see a fire weather warning.
Yeah, bro.
Be safe out there.
Yep. So be safe out there, y'all.